we know that a person is good or bad? Are you a good person or are you a bad person? And people sometimes telling you that is, I don't like you because you are not a good person. So, what is the basis of evaluating a person is good or bad? And what makes a person good or bad? Today I am going to tell you about the details and the factors and how a person we are evaluating because of that character or behavior or anything else. So why we are talking about a person is good or bad? So what is the reality behind of that? So let's jump into that. What makes a person good or bad? So what make a person we are telling that a person is good or bad? And what are the factors affecting that our viewpoint or others' viewpoint? And that is I am going to tell you in detail. This is my opinion and I want to tell you that is you just imagine yourself. These all are the factors that is really affecting that when we are evaluating a person, that is this person is good and the other person is bad and this person is bad and the other one is good. So how we can tell about that and what are the factors affecting it and how we can say that a person is good or bad. So there are some interesting factors are there, but it is a reality. We want to accept it. So the first reason or the first factor is that the general factors. So what are the general factors that will define a person is good or bad? The general factors are first one that is a family and the second one that is a culture and the third one that is background. So what is this general factors? So you just imagine that in a family a child is growing and what is the characters and behavior that child will adapt from that family. So that is a general factors. And the second one that is a culture. What are the customs and rituals and cultures according to each area of the country and each area of the state and each and every area of the city is defining. These two factors are really influencing a person's character and also a person's viewpoint. That is, we are evaluating others and also ourselves. That is based on the general factors. And the third one that is a background. So what is your family background and what is your cultural background and what are the things that you were aspired from your childhood and how you are telling the things and you are evaluating the persons, the other peoples according to this three factors. That is the general factors, the family, culture and background. So a person is developing or the person is start to developing from the basic unit that is the family. So there is a great influence of family in a person's life. So and the second one that is culture. So what are the rituals they are following, what are the values they are transferring, the family peoples are teaching the children or that next generation. So what are the culture transferring and the background is very important. So these are the general factors and let's really look at what is the personal factors. So the personal factors that includes the first one the character and the second one the behavior and the third one the emotional status. So these are the three personal factors that will influence a person to define a person is good or bad. That is from ourselves, that is our viewpoint and the others viewpoint. So these two factors, the general factors and the personal factors, that is really interconnected because the family, the first unit will teach the peoples, that is the children's and the young members. The character development is starting from the family and the behavior, how you are looking at the world and what you are learned from your family about the other peoples and about other cultures, about others, and the emotional status of a person. That is a personal factor and that is depends upon family also because from the childhood we are seeing that how our family is responding to each and every emotional experience or emotional response of a child or a young member, how it is dealing and what are the factors, what are the influence of the family members in the development of personal factors. So this is a basic one, the general factors. There is a family, everybody knows that family is the basic unit, and the culture, that is everybody have different type of cultures, and the background in which family background they are growing up, and the personal factors, that is all depends on the general factors also. And next we are talking about the self perspective and others perspective. So, from this viewpoint, you want to see what is a self perspective and what others perspective. So, the first one, the self perspective, that is what you are seeing, that you are evaluating another person or another situation or any type of things, that is from your self perspective. What is good and what is bad? So, according to the general factors and according to the personal factors, you will evaluate a thing, a situation, a person, that is good or bad. That is, and you are seeing that persons in that type of peoples, and your culture, your background, everything will define your character, your behavior, your emotional status, and you are evaluating the other person or the other situation according to your self perspective. It's good or bad. So that is your viewpoint, because you are learned from your childhood, that is peoples are like this and you are like this and we are living in this world like this. So if you think about a person is living in just a middle class family, is seeing a person above the high class. I'm just talking about the general status of a person, because this is needed, the evaluation is needed, because you want to understand what is your perspective. That's why I am telling this example. So you are telling that above average and also the high rich peoples, that we are telling how they are living, everything is totally different. The family culture background and their spendings, and they are using the things, very expensive things they are using, but how a middle class person is looking at that person, and what is good about and what is bad about. So some people are jealous about that rich people, they will say that is, so that is only your self perspective. You don't know the other person, what their condition and what their family background, what their general factors and their personal factors, but you are evaluating the person according to your general factors, background, and the personal factors. So, from your self perspective, the person is good or bad. And you just think about the below average, just you just imagine, I am more and more better than that person. So I'm living in a home, my own home I have. So you are comparing and you are thinking according to your general factors and according to your personal factors. So how you can evaluate a person is good or bad? Just think about yourself. How I am evaluating and how I am looking to the peoples from my self perspective. And the other one, that is others perspective. So from the others perspective, what is good and bad? Because now you are the object and others are looking to you, and what is good and bad about you, because they are an upper class family or they are a lower class family. I'm not defining that as a upper class or lower class or economically and financially how the peoples are divided. I'm just telling you that is, I will give you an example that is not economically status or financial status based, but I will tell you that is some peoples are getting more opportunities in their life for developing their career, developing their financial security, and all of that. So if a person who can study high or who can study abroad, who will get a chance to study in abroad, and how you will evaluate that person is according to your perspective and how a person look at you when you got that. Your self perspective and others perspective, that is only depends upon those general factors and the personal factors. That is, you are defining according to your good and bad because of you have that general factors and the personal factors, and the others are looking at you on those general factors and the personal factors. There is nothing else we can say that we are looking our own viewpoint. You are looking at your viewpoint and also others' viewpoint, how you can evaluate a person. So that we are going to discuss. So now I will give you an example. You just tell me, according to your self perspective, the person is good or bad. Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. Tell me, according to your self perspective, the person is good or bad? Absolutely, your answer will be is a good person. Because according to your self perspective, you are looking at that person, that is a good person. This is a very disciplined, very honorable person. And you just look at from the other's perspective also how the person is good or bad. Absolutely, the answer is yes, he's a good person. So others' perspective also yes. So what make that person, that is you are also telling that the person is good and others also telling that person is good, because what is the factors behind of that person? His general factors, his personal factors. So this general factors and the personal factors are really affecting that person's life and what he is giving to the world. That is very important. So according to Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, we can say that, I'm not telling you or others, we can say that the person is good because of his general factors is very much balanced and also his personal factors. And he given a value to the world and to the society as a person. And I will tell you another example. Steve Jobs. Everybody knows the founder of Apple. And what is your self perspective about the Steve Jobs? He's a good person. And what others will say, he's also a good person. Everybody know that he gave a lot of inspiration to our life. So according to his general factors and his personal factors are make that person really good from your perspective and others' perspective. So how you will evaluate a person? Now you can clearly say that why we are evaluating a person because of this general factors and the personal factors, and how they are giving the values to the society, and how we will see that person from our perspective and others' perspective. That is based on the general factors and the personal factors, and what are the values that person given to the society that make us is a person is good or bad. So just think about a person is good or bad. That is from your self perspective, that is according to your general factors and your personal factors, and others' perspective. When the people are looking at you because of they are evaluating you according to the general factors and according to the personal factors. So what we want to do, that is somebody will say that is you are a good person, somebody will not say that you are a good person because of their general and their personal factors. And you are giving some values to the society will give you it back. Lot of examples are there, but I am only given the two examples just for analyzing that. This makes a person good and bad because of your self perspective and others perspective. So now you just tell me what makes a person good or bad according to your self perspective and according to the others perspective. That we can say that the opinion of ours, we are viewing from our good and bad, from our good points and bad points, and according to our general factors and the personal factors. So that makes a person good or bad. If you are next evaluating a person, he's a good person, how you will evaluate? That is according to your general factors and according to your personal factors. So a person is thinking or evaluating more than that of this general factors and the personal factors. That person is evaluating with values. You are not jealous about any person, you are not underestimate a person, but you are thinking from your self perspective, that is with a good motive and inspiration, and also because of the values they are given. So think better and evaluate a person with good motive and also without jealousy. Then you can evaluate a person and you can compare yourself with a person with all the good factors. If you are watching this video in YouTube, please like this video and subscribe my channel. And I am given a link below. You can click that link and join my FB group. I will teach you how you can live a quality joyful life, and we'll see you in the FB group.